Will you accept me, mighty Bai? Will you take me as your partner so we will never be alone again? Together until the heavens fall and the earth is crushed beneath them. Will you be one with me? Today on the Board Goddess Book Reviews, we will be exploring the Cultivation novel Reborn, the Jade Phoenix Saga Book 1 by D.I. Freed. Hello and welcome back to my library, noble lords and ladies. I am the Board Goddess and I am so glad you've chosen to join me as we continue our unending quest to discover unusual and all too often underappreciated books and stories. While you're here, don't forget to hit that like button and also to subscribe. By doing that, you're not only helping my channel grow, you are also part of building a community for others who, like me, believe wholly in indie authors. If you are new to the channel, I would like to introduce Max, my chief ratings duck. He will tally my comments during the review and present a final rating at the end of this video. So Max, have you ever enjoyed a good cultivation story? What? You don't know what that is? Well, I'll be honest, I'm still unfamiliar with this particular subgenre of fantasy myself. I did some research and found that Wikipedia describes it as a kind of progression fantasy, usually set within ancient China. The idea of cultivation is really a Taoist concept, by which humans can extend their lifespan and gain supernatural powers through the practice of certain martial and mystical arts involving meditation and the cultivation of qi. Qi, which is a source of energy, can take different forms to achieve various impossible actions. For example, it could be physical and turn Max here into Super Max. Or it could be mana and allow you to perform magic. You might even be imbued with ether, which will allow you to alter time and space. Generally, other stories of this nature might only use one or perhaps none at all of these types of qi. But today's book uses physical, mana, and ether together. Before we begin, I want to let everyone know that there is mild cursing in this book, along with a great deal of violence. Further, demonic beasts in the form of large animals are subjected to types of injuries that some might find disturbing. It is not a child-friendly book, and I would suggest it be read by adults. The author himself states, "I don't write kids or even young adult books. I write novels where the visuals are real and tangible. The world isn't a nice place because the worlds I create aren't nice." Our book today, Reborn, is the first in the series of the Jade Phoenix Saga. The author is D.I. Freed, a self-professed computer and gaming geek who loved epic fantasy and sci-fi books, from which he became interested in the LitRPG genre and began to write. The story follows Feng Huang Yu, who lives in a world controlled by gods. For most in her world, this would mean living either as a mortal, as one who does not have access to qi, or as a cultivator who does. Our protagonist, Yu, was born as a cultivator, but lives as a disabled mortal, due to her god sign being corrupted at the age of 10 days old. This means that, although she has the physical capacity to hold and control qi, she has no access to it. Despite being weak, small, and prone to injury, and so delicate that the slightest thing could easily kill her, Yu continues to try and practice martial arts on her own. Somewhat supported by her older brother and her father's third wife, during one of her practice sessions within the forest, 13-year-old Yu is attacked by 4 enemy cultivator teenagers from a rival clan. They beat her near to death when a giant, wounded, demonic beast in the form of a tiger approaches the group, and the 4 cultivators turn their attention away from the dying Yu and onto the injured beast. The tiger bonds with Yu, sacrificing himself to assist her in undergoing a heavenly tribulation in the form of a lightning storm. If she survives, it will give her everything she ever dreamed of in her rebirth. She wakes up enhanced and healthy, and with the corruption of her god sign gone. Thus begins her adventure, fully empowered with all 3 forms of ki, and sets out to bring honor to her clan. When I stumbled upon this book during an Amazon hunt, I had never really seen anything like it. I had no idea what cultivation stories were, nor had I really considered how much I would enjoy this fantasy subgenre. Add to it, the book was the right price, and the premise sounded fun, so I picked it up, and I thought I'd give it a try. I am so glad I did. My first thought about the story is, well, it's very different, yet it was strangely compelling to me, and it did not disappoint. First and foremost, this author ensured that the book was well edited. Truth be told, a story does not have to be perfect to catch and keep my attention, but careful editing grants the reader a smoother experience, something I truly appreciate. Now, Reborn might be considered by some to be too long, with a length of approximately 630 pages. But for me, that presented no issues. It was actually a plus for me. I was so enthralled with the story. It could have had another 600 pages, and I still would have been hooked. Fried's character development was amazing. I truly enjoyed how every single character had to work extremely hard to progress forward in their goals, their cultivation, and with everything within their lives. Relationships, for example, built between Yu and the more powerful demonic beasts, grant her tools and knowledge that are critical to her journey of cultivation. She learns that not all of them loved her. Some altered her life in an incredible, beneficial manner, while others just wanted to eat her. The characters were believable and well thought out, and the setting for the book gave me a glimpse of a created culture, so outside of my usual norm of fantasy, that it added another layer to my own overly active imagination. To me, one of the most appealing parts of this book was the perseverance of the main character. Beaten down throughout her formative years, her duplicitous family loved her, but failed her on a fundamental level by wrapping her in cotton wool and denying her her birthright. Left to the silent torture of emotional torment, her world began to kill her a tiny bit at a time. Despite it all, though, Yu finds her strengths overcoming horrendous pain. The author strove to understand life from the angle of a girl backed into a physical and psychological corner. Because of this, the book takes me into a world I have never experienced, but which I could intrinsically empathize. This is particularly evident when the protagonist, Yu, while capable of generosity and forgiveness that is almost saintly, doesn't allow herself to be taken advantage of without awareness. For instance, she understands that her family is using her, but allows it because her clan's honor is so important to her. Honestly, it was a bit of a struggle to find anything to complain about in this book. But there were portions that felt somewhat slow. So for me, while this tamped down the progression of the story and allowed the addition of small details to the world and characters, there were also moments I found myself fighting through some tedious scenes in the story. So, what do you think, Max? You are so right! Max has spoken, and I heartily agree. This book, my friends, gets 4 ducks and a chicken. While Reborn had fantastic world building and incredible character design, some readers might find the book much too long, and there were some slow builds throughout the story. If you would like to read the book, or any of the Jade Phoenix Saga series, I have linked to the author's Amazon page. Have you read Reborn? Let's discuss it in the comments, or in my Discord, also linked below. If you are an author of an indie book who would like me to do a video review on your work, please submit a request for video review for authors on my website, theboardgoddess.weebly.com. The form page is linked below as well. If you have a favorite little-known self-published novel, please feel free to leave a request for video review for readers on the website. The link for that page is also found in the description below. If I choose the book, I'll give you a high five in the review. I am also on Instagram, Goodreads, and Twitter, all of which are also listed below. When I don't have my nose in a book, I am always up for a book chat. So guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Adios until next Wednesday. May your day be epic, and may awesomeness follow you like a sad puppy needing hugs. See you next time. Bye. Particular subgenre? I used good word. During one of her Llama. Edit.
Okay.
5 seconds of fame, start now.
Yeah, exactly.
Power my garden.
Yes.
It's a you snack. Nom 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 nom. We like when things don't flash. We don't need a flasher.
No.
Torture of emotional? Let me try that one more time, because I think I did the open mouth doohickey like a fish.
Don't do fish, it's horrendous. Not tremendous.
Action. Action.
Okay.
We do not approve of proactive pointing.
No, we're not